What's up, guys? So, Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura, UFC 87 has just finished. And yeah, it was a good card. A couple of nice finishes, a couple of nice submissions. But at the same time, another random fight night in the Apex. But good night for the bets. We went 3-1 and 1. And yeah, the underdog of the week hit, the two parlay pieces hit, and yeah, let's jump straight into it. So, first bet was we bet Marcin Tybura money line, and yeah, Marcin Tybura looked incredible. Came out, got hurt a bit on the feet at the start. I caught him with a nice elbow, cut up in his head. But the minute he started pushing Tai Tuivasa back against the fence, it was game over for Tai Tuivasa. Instead of looking for underhooks, he tried to hammer fist him and ended up getting taken down double legged. And then Marcin just started opening up with a bit of ground and pound. And then once he took Ty's back, that was the beginning of the end. Ty held on. He held on well for like 20 seconds. Like he was deep in that choke for a good 30 seconds. And the ref ended up jumping in because he was gurgling so much. But it didn't look like he was out, but he didn't protest the stoppage at all. So he uh he must have been very close to going out. But yeah, wild that Marcin Tybura I think was an underdog all week, and then fight day it was a pick 'em. So credit to anybody who was on that Marcin Tybura money line earlier in the week who got it at underdog money. Fair played. And yeah, what do you do with Marcin Tybura now? Definitely put him in another bloody main event. They love putting the heavyweights in main events, even though there's probably way better fights to be putting in main events, but they just won't because they think that all casuals love heavyweight fights. But next up, we have Brian Battle versus Angel Lusa. We had Brian Battle. We were liking a decision. It was looking like it was going that way. Brian was piecing him up. With his kicks looked amazing. Angel Lusa couldn't get his distance, couldn't get his range, couldn't get the timing. And yeah, he was getting absolutely pieced up. Couldn't get any takedowns. Um, really dominant first round for Brian Battle, and then started the first round or started the second round. Um, Angel Lusa shot him for a takedown, and Brian Battle sprawled. But as he was framing and pushing away, he accidentally put his finger in Losa's eye, and then so the fight was paused or whatever. And then they brought in the cage side doctor, but Angelosa made the biggest mistake in the book. He told the doctor that he couldn't see, which forces the doctor to have to stop the fight. Like they can't. If the fighter says he can't see, then they have to stop the fight. And then so the fight's declared a no contest. And then after nobody's hand is raised and the referee walks away, they're both just standing in the middle of the octagon. And Brian Battle goes, "You're a pussy." And Angelosa is like fully like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, and Brian Battle in the post fight was saying that where did all that energy come from? He couldn't continue the fight, but he had enough energy to threaten to kill me, like after the fight was stopped, I don't think he wanted to fight anymore. Um, but yeah, no, good fight until it was finished. But Brian Battle, man, I was said it in the picks earlier in the week. Every fight, so much improvement out of him. Like on the Tough House, he was like soft bodied. His story was he used to be really fat, and then he found MMA and started training and lost weight, and now he looks amazing. Like his body is shredded, um, and his striking is just looking way better. Every time we see him, he's looking like he was throwing jump knees, step knees to the body, confusing Angelos. Like looked really good. So yeah, so we had Brian Battle. It was a no contest, but I think if there wasn't an eye poke, I think Brian Battle probably wins that. Next up, we have OSP versus Kenny Nchukwu. Called this one wrong. I thought Kennedy would be too much for an old OSP, but credit to OSP, hung tough. Um, Kennedy wins the first round. Close round though. And then He's winning the second round in a kind of a sloppy, slow, light heavyweight kickboxing fight. And then um it was actually really funny. OSP cracks him with a right hand with like a minute left, and Michael Bisling's like, "Whoa, that might have just changed the trajectory of the fight." Even though it hadn't at all, like he just ate it and was coming forward, like everything was fine, but it was like easily the best shot OSP landed. But he was so right. Like I swear, after that shot, Kennedy just didn't look the same, like for the rest of the fight. And so really close first two rounds. I had Kennedy up two, but his coach in the corner, what's his name? Fortis MMA. I can't remember, but he was saying, "Hey, I have it up two for you, but this could go either way. Like nobody knows how the judges are scoring at this. They're looking at me right now, like they don't know." Like it was actually really funny. Like I was like, "Damn, he's roasting the judges right in front of them." But yeah, no. Then the third round starts, and OSP drops Kennedy in the first round or two, and yeah, it looked really great. And man, take nothing away from OSP. Pulled out the old veteran card on this fight. Didn't back down. Just gutted out a gritty split decision. And yeah, hopefully a learning lesson for Kennedy and Chukwu. And yeah, that was the only bet that didn't hit out of our top five this week, which is pretty good. And next up, we had the underdog pick of the week. We had Christian Rodriguez against Isaac Dolgurian. I'm not gonna lie, I was watching this fight, and for that first round, I was like, damn, that was a bad underdog pick of the week. But I said it though. I said if Isaac doesn't finish him in the first, Isaac's never been out of the first round in his entire career. So if he doesn't get out of the first round, let's see what he looks like. And he looked terrible. Like he actually didn't look that bad for the first half of the second round, but towards the second half of that round, he had nothing. Dominic Cruz said it best on the broadcast. All that wrestling fills up your arms with blood. So all you can do after that is wrestle. You can't really strike that good because your arms are now really heavy. And yeah, Christian Rodriguez just turned it up. End of the second and for pretty much all of the third. It's funny. The judges scored it 27-28, which meant both guys got a 10-8 round. And I think it all came down to how you scored the second round. So Isaac got a 10-8. Everybody scored Isaac a 10-8 in the first, and everybody scored Christian a 10-8 in the third, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, really sick fight. Um, nice little juicy underdog. I think he was paying like plus 260 or something like that. So if you played Christian Rodriguez, you hopefully made a nice little bit of money. And then, okay, so the last two fights were the parlay pieces. We had Mike Davis and we had Thiago Moises, and both looked absolutely dominant. Mike Davis, my goodness. He dropped Natan Levy in the first minute of the fight and then jumped on his back for the rest of the first round. Pure dominance. Definitely a 10-8 round. Just backpacked him, was threading the needle, going body triangle, and just working on that rear naked. Couldn't get it. Credit to Natan Levy. He fought it off well. And then start of the second round, same thing. Rocks him, takes him down, and then the same thing, jumps on the back again, and then he transitions to an arm triangle, and then the guy doesn't defend the arm triangle, and then he goes back to the back, goes back on the rear naked, and then credit to Levy, he fights that off, and then hold on a second. And then yeah, Mike Davis goes right back to the arm triangle and finishes him. Beautiful, beautiful transitions. It was actually so nice to watch. And yeah, looked super, super dominant. Looked like he should have been the big favorite that he was. Hopefully everybody put him in the parlays. And then the last parlay piece, we had Thiago Moises against Mitch Ramirez. Same thing, except not as dominant, except for when it hit the ground. So not even on the ground. Thiago Moises' leg kicks looked absolutely amazing. He stopped him with leg kicks. First round, even striking. Thiago Moises pushes him up against the fence. Can't really get the single until maybe the last minute, gets him down, but can't really work too much. But then started the second round. Actually, ended the first round. He starts calf kicking, gets a bit of a hematoma But start of the second, he starts absolutely kicking the shit out of his shins. And he had a big hematoma on his right leg. And yeah, Thiago Moises just absolutely kicked it to pieces. And then Ramirez goes down, and it was absolutely brutal. As soon as he went down, Moises just threw about 5, 6 leg kicks to the downed Ramirez within a space of like 5 seconds. It was actually beautiful, and the ref jumps in and stops it. It was a mercy stoppage. Um, he probably could have continued, but he wasn't staying on his feet for much longer. Like his leg must have been absolutely destroyed. So anyway, that was Tai Tuivasa, the card versus Marcin Tybura. It was a good card. Missed a lot of the prelims, but judging by a lot of decisions and women's fights, I didn't miss anything. Um, so yeah, not a bad card. 3-1-1 to start the betting side of the channel. And yeah, let's keep it rolling. And we'll be back next week with another card. Let me actually just check. What is next week's UFC? You would think I would know, but I actually have no idea. The UFC, they've got so many cards. So many cards. We've actually got Bellator champions next week, which is sick. Another PFL versus Bellator. Um, it's for the vacant light heavyweight and the heavyweight belts. That's pretty sick. And then we have Ryzen and Octagon, LFA. Where is the UFC? Oh my goodness. It is Amanda Hebas versus Rose Namajunas, women's main event. Why? And it's at the Apex as well. Of course it is. Yeah. Co-main event is Carl Williams against Justin Tafa. Why the UFC just put a random heavyweight in the co-main event, I'll never understand. But anyway, we'll break that one. We'll get you the top 5 bets for that one next week. Anyway, until then, have a good one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.